Hey everybody, welcome to the podcast for 9vibes. We're going to talk about basically what is going to happen in 2026, how things are going to change and why they're changing. And to do that, we have to first talk about what was happening in 2025. So a lot of you that have been following 9vibes know that I talk quite often about the slope. And the slope is basically a Pythagorean triangle, A, B, and C. And so when you're looking at a Pythagorean triangle, the thing that you have to understand about it is that a squared plus b squared has to equal c squared. That's how it's a Pythagorean triangle. So if we were to look at side A and say that side A is creativity, it's imagination, it's belief. And side B, which is going to be the base, the bottom line is going to end up being your action, your practice, your basic experience. And that makes side C what you're walking on. And so what you will notice is you will notice that in 2025, and actually years before that, the slope has been very even. It's been very easy to walk on it. You can make many mistakes in spirituality. You can make many mistakes in religion. You can make many mistakes in math and different areas and still be able to find some kind of solution, still be able to find some kind of outcome. That is because A was much shorter. And so there was a little bit of belief, but there was a lot of experience. You would pick up on something, you'd say, I'm going to take off with that. I'm going to learn that. I'm going to practice that. And you made it your whole life. Those of you that picked up on meditation and yoga, it's almost like you surrounded your whole entire life around this specific belief, which means that belief was very small and experience was very long. And this makes a very even slope. 2026 is going to change. It is going to change because we no longer have a little amount of belief. We have a lot of belief. Whether you believe in conspiracies, whether you believe in spirituality, whether you believe in Jesus, Christ consciousness, whether you believe in simulation theory, all of these things are expanding and they're expanding very quick. And so what's happening is A is becoming a lot longer. And because it's becoming longer, B is not able to meet it. And so as A continues to get longer and beliefs continue to expand, B starts getting shorter. What happens when that happens is the slope becomes more steep. Now, the reason this is important is because it means that precision matters. Practice used to matter. Precision now matters. You do not have to spend 20 years learning something in the Bible. You do not have to spend 10 years dealing with your childhood issues. We no longer are on that slope. It is steep. And so where you put your footing and where you take your next step and how you take your next step actually matter. Healing is not going to be try everything. Healing is going to be pick one path and precisely measure it. And that's where the 36-day journey comes in because it is split into two 18-day cycles. You complete one of those, you will change. So we're going to remove away the word of manifestation because manifestation is, again, something that was very general and very spiritual. Precision matters. And so if you are looking for healing, don't ask for healing. Ask for a very specific thing. If part of what you're dealing with is migraines and stomach ache, focus on the migraines first. Focus on changing things in your life so that when that pressure is alleviated off of those migraines, you now know a path and can apply it to stomach aches. Do you understand what I'm saying? The slope has changed. And this is not something that is just about spirituality or religion. This is everything. And if you'll notice, there are far more people who are starting to believe in AI and starting to use AI, but very few are actually applying and growing with AI. And so that slope is very steep. If you do not learn how to prompt correctly, you are going to spend a lot of time wasted on trying to get the outcome you want. So this does not just apply to specific things. This applies to everything. This will explain politics to you in a way that you can start to see the curve and understand what is actually happening in our world. This will explain spirituality to you and why you can spend so much time finding different things and adding them together and not getting the outcome that you actually want. And this is the same thing for religion. No longer do you have to spend all the time encompassing all of the information for you to be able to get an outcome. Precision matters. That is the motto of 2026. Precision matters. Okay. So we're just going to go ahead and wrap this up because it's the very first one of 2026. And I wanted to explain to you 2025, precision did not matter. Practice mattered. And years before that, practice mattered. We have changed, we have shifted. And you can look at it and you can say, this doesn't apply to me, but you will notice it in your life. You will notice it in relationships, in money. It is no longer about practice, it is about precision. Get your 9 vibes aligned.